solid start for the Sunrisers in their quest for just in excess of 150. In fact, exactly 150 set by the Royal Challengers after being put into bat. They are 77 for 1 at the end of 10 overs. Now, the question is, on paper, in isolation, it looks like a very solid start. But we've seen what's happened, particularly 24 hours ago. So to try and put this into perspective, let me get Harsha Bhogle into Cricbuzz Comm box. Harsha, 77 for 1 looks as if they're well ahead. 1 over later, the comparison will change because the 11th over for Bangalore was 22.
And also the 11th over during Cricbuzz Comm box is always the most dangerous one, right? Look, it looks an excellent score. 77 for 1 in 10 overs. You just need 73 of the back 10. Everything looking good. But my only concern from a Hyderabad point of view is that in better batting conditions, they've got 77. They're going to more challenging batting conditions. And they're also going into a situation where Bangalore got 39 of the last 3. So they'll have to keep staying ahead of where Bangalore were because it's very difficult to score 39 of 3. So they've got to start. Now what we need to see is whether Manish Pandey or David Warner, both or one of them, can be batting in the 17th, 18th, 19th over. If one of those is, then I think you can say that that Hyderabad have a really good chance. But this game is, on any other surface, you would have said 80-20 here. I think I'm still going sort of 60-40 at best here to Hyderabad.
Fair point. And I think the other reason we keep saying that is because for a new batter coming in, it is not the easiest. We saw that yesterday. Forget the brain fades. Even from a cricketing point of view, for a new batsman coming in, it's not the easiest, which is why for at least one of them, it's essential to stay in a la Glenn Maxwell.
And you see, absolutely. And you see the impact that someone like David Warner can play. When Warner's in form, I've often said day in, day out, he's the best batsman in the history of this tournament, year upon year upon year. The moment he gets the side off to a good start, see how just the entire appearance of the match changes. I mean, here he's taken on Chahal in the 11th over. He's hit him 2 boundaries again. So he is taking the lead. By him taking the lead, he's allowing Manish Pandey to play in his most comfortable style. Manish Pandey's natural strike rate is about 115. I know it really increases when he bats longer. But today, if Warner's teeing off and Manish Pandey can provide those runs at 110, 115, it's still all right. It's still all right because you're playing sort of 130 strike rate kind of game. That is what Warner's doing. If Warner gets out, then Manish Pandey will have to up the ante. So at this stage, I think, 64 or 56? Yeah, 60-40 still, because we know what happened.
Fair enough. Let's have a look at the bowling. Important from what they've done so far, but also in terms of who's got overs left. 3 out of 4 overs from Siraj, who's looked outstanding. Particularly his first 2 overs are done. Jameson's got a couple for the death. Is he the death bowler they're looking for, Bangalore? So in terms of what's to come, how do you assess their bowling strength?
You know, I'm a little surprised that he didn't try one of the other bowlers yet now. It's getting into a stage where now getting a Shahbaz or a Maxwell could be fraught with risk. I thought around 7, 8, 9, he might get some overs out of them as a kind of insurance afterwards. He hasn't used Dan Christian, for example. So if one of the bowlers has a go, his 6, 7, 8 bowlers are coming in at a slightly more difficult time. But, he's there in the middle. He's seeing the situation. But I thought he would have used more bowlers by now.
Yeah, I think it's also worth, I know we've had a look at the bowling cards, worth having a look at the batting to come. And I think that, I know we were tom-tomming that in the run chase for Kolkata. It looked so good on paper when you have someone like an Andre Russell still to come, Dinesh Karthik still to come at that point in time. But over here, if you have a look at Bairstow, Vijay Shankar, Abdul Samad, Jason Holder, we won't even get down as far as Rashid Khan. That looks comfortable.
Yeah, and we can bat too. So you're batting pretty deep here. So that's why I said, given everything, it's looking fairly comfortable, but it's going to get more and more difficult as we go along. I think how many has Washington and Chahal bowled? Chahal's bowled 3 overs for 22. Washington's bowled 2 for 14. I think those remaining 3 overs they need to expect much more from them.
Yeah, so 3 key overs of spin. Might we see a surprise in the form of Glenn Maxwell? Well, there's got to be some kind of rabbit that Virat Kohli needs to pull out of the hat if he has to stop Hyderabad. At the moment, Harsha reckons 60-40 with that over. Maybe it's getting 65-35, but we know they're favourites. Could we have another twist? Well, we'll find out. We'll tell you all about that if the twist happens at the end. For now, that's all on Cricbuzz Comm Box.